just a moment, we'll be discussing the day's top stories with Vanessa and Matthew. First, though, it has been a dramatic night in the States as Britney Spears has finally had her say in the row over whether she should remain in a legal conservatorship.
Well, her claims include that she has been stopped from getting pregnant, forced to take medication and taken to therapy sessions against her will.
Well, we're joined now by Nelson Aspen, live from New York. Good morning,
Hi,
Nelson. So let's start, first of all, by explaining, for anyone who hasn't been following this story, explaining the conservatorship.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, a conservatorship means that the court appoints someone to manage an incapacitated person's affairs, personal and professional affairs. And that's what Britney has been under, this conservatorship. For the last 13 years, her father, Jamie, has been her designated conservator, and she's had enough. And she told the court in some bombshell testimony yesterday just exactly how controlling he is. As you said, everything from birth control to medication, so heavily medicated, she claims, that she felt like she was drunk all the time. The control to the point of where he dictated the choreography in her shows, who she could date, and even the color of her kitchen cabinetry. Really quite astounding claims.
Well, it's extraordinary. And I mean, for a long time, there's been this Free Britney campaign with a lot of support behind that, a lot of momentum behind that also. But is this coming to an end now? Could this be the end of the conservatorship? What's the next step?
The next step will come later in July, mid-July, when they'll have another hearing. But she says she doesn't want to have an evaluation. She doesn't want to be evaluated anymore. She wants the conservatorship to end, and she made quite a good case for it. Of course, her father is controlling a $60 million fortune, and somehow, over the course of these 13 years, she still managed to produce 4 albums, 2 of which went platinum. She did the long Las Vegas residency, generating nearly $140 million of revenue there. She was a judge on the X Factor and American Idol. So this is a cash cow her conservator wouldn't want it to end. And she claims it's not just her father, that there's a whole circle of people taking control. She says it's doing me way more harm than good. She says, quote, my dad and everyone else who played a key role in my conservatorship should be in jail. So it's really interesting. This legitimizes what the fans have been saying all along. You know, these fanatical fans who have been saying free Britney, free Britney. It really legitimizes their claims.
It seems to be an abuse here of the law. I mean, the law must surely change to explain further what a conservatorship is actually supposed to do, because you mentioned that list of things there. Albums going platinum, judge on the X Factor, 4-year residency in Las Vegas that reportedly grossed close to 138 million. Yet she is managed as an incapacitated person. Not one thing that she's done there, other than the ability to earn money, has been the result of someone who appears to be incapacitated.
That's right. And she even admits that she lied when she was saying she's happy, she's fine, she's never been better. She's posted things on social media trying to reassure her fans. But now she's saying that those were concocted lies, that she basically made that up to keep her, for lack of a better word, kidnapper from doing further damage. So it will be up to the judge, but she doesn't want to do this anymore. She's a 39-year-old grown woman with 2 children, and she's had enough.
Okay,
and thank you, Nelson.
Thank you.
Very much appreciated. Matthew, I mean, you're nodding along there. This is, from an outside point of view, looking in to this American law, it's absolutely absurd.
I think Nelson set up very nicely all the reasons that we should be cynical or suspicious of this arrangement. I do come at this from the view that I've lost a dear friend to suicide as a result of poor mental health. And frankly, I would have given anything for anybody to have stepped in legally, to have taken control of him and his affairs at that time, because he really needed it. Nobody did, and it was too late. What I don't understand in Britney's case is how this could have gone on for 13 years. I think if you go back to the beginning, I think she was ambulanced twice to hospital. There were grave concerns, I think, about her mental health at the time. But the fact that this order is still ongoing 13 years on, when she's been, as outlined by Nelson, performing and making millions. It smells to high heaven to me.
And that is the problem, isn't it, Vanessa, is the time it has taken.
Well, absolutely. She's 39 years old. She's perfectly capable of doing a decent job. I mean, if you're a judge on something as high profile as X Factor in America, the public will see if you're not very well. They'll see if your mental health is a bit dicey. And she turned in a fantastic performance. And, I mean, I'm absolutely with the Free Britney Brigade. And the other thing is, you know, when you're a certain age, you're a grown-up and you earn the money yourself, if you lose it, if you spend it profligately, if you squander it, it's yours to squander. She should be allowed to make mistakes if she wants to. She doesn't have to live a perfect life as dictated by her father or anyone else. It's desperately unfair. And I think it sounds, you know, appalling and needs to stop.
This is the beginning of the end of it now.
Yeah.
You'd hope. Let's move on to a different story now. Their weekly meetings are usually private, but cameras were invited in to record the start of the Queen and Boris Johnson's first face-to-face meeting since lockdown began. Let's have a look.
Very nice to see you again.
Lovely to see you again. It's been 15 months.
Really,
15 months since we were last at
It's most extraordinary, isn't it?
It is.
I've just been talking to your Secretary of State for Health, poor man. He came for Privy Council.
Oh, yes.
He's full of...
Full of beans.
Comment, yes.
You do wonder, like, what was she going to say he's full of? You know, it ranges from the good, the bad and the ugly, doesn't it? It's like, blankety blank, insert what?
I just love the way Boris interrupts. You think you give Her Majesty a chance to say what he's full of without just suggesting your own ideas.
He interrupted with the word beans.
Unbelievable. Full of beans? I've never seen anybody so hangdog and so lacking in beans. That's the one thing he's not full of, isn't
She
it?
also described him as the poor man.
Poor
I spoke to him earlier on,
but
poor
I think
man.
lots of people have felt that. You look at his face and he's got this dejected expression. He's got the weight of the entire universe, it seems, on his shoulders. He is a poor man. Who would want to do that job, for goodness sake?
But we'll never know what the Queen thought he was full of. Full of great ideas. Could have been full of great ideas.
Could have been a great big
Hancock might be
expletive
thinking then,
that
I want to know what it was.
That you wouldn't want Her Majesty to say, full of... Mightn't it?
Might be. We'll never know.
I can't imagine it.
Could have been.
Been a great video if she had. So what do you think, Matthew? It's a fantastic that we actually heard a little bit of an insight there.
Yes, indeed. I mean, Boris loves a photo opportunity, doesn't he? I'm still trying to get out. I understand why there were TV cameras and the Daily Mail on a warship off the coast of the Crimea, but it's photo op city. But the Queen, I think, was in grave danger of sinking this one like a battleship. I'm with you. I'm trying to hear what she was going to say because I'm pretty sure. In fact, I'm 99.5% sure it wasn't beans.
1 in 7 people regret having children, though they can present a myriad of challenges and sleepless nights. It's often said that having children is the best thing that can happen to a person, but not every parent agrees, as 1 in 7 people regret it ever happening.
That's high, isn't it, Vanessa?
I think it's amazing is saying that to somebody who's conducting a survey. You would have thought, even if you do think that, you think it in the darkest hours of the night, and you think it to yourself, and you never tell a living soul. You don't just tell us, do you regret having children? Yes. Why would you say that? My God.
The regret was more common in younger parents. And I wonder, do you think they were sort of going, oh, yes, like a kind of... Or do you think they were serious?
Well, I was a younger parent. Matthew, of course, waited to be in his dotage until he became a parent, so he'll tell you what it's like for older parents. As a younger parent, I was one of the first of all of my friends to have a baby. I was 23, I think, when Allegra was born. And, I mean, I suppose there were moments, seconds, where I thought, gosh, I could have waited like everyone else and maybe I could be, you know, partying through the night and doing something disgraceful instead of breastfeeding. I suppose I might have thought that for, you know, nanoseconds, but really, she and her sister are the greatest things I've ever done and remain so. I love them to pieces.
Matthew?
What about Matthew?
Well, I guess I'm a bit of an oddball because I'm one of those few people who really, really, really didn't want to have children at all, but at the same time, I wasn't prepared to stop my wife if that's what she wanted, and she did. So we had to go down the IVF route, it turned out, in the end, and extremely stressful and difficult experience, but... I'm a convert. I've become a breeder. I love my little pint-sized polluter, as I used to call children. And as for sleeplessness, having had insomnia for 4 years, watching her snoring her way through her latest cold is a source of great joy in the early hours, I have to say.
Well, that's certainly... I mean, I think it's one of those things you look at. You can understand why people say it, but I can't imagine life without my girls. I mean, my goodness me. One final piece of breaking news, and we're just hearing now that Anton Dubek is going to replace Bruno Tonioni in the next series of Strictly. Bruno's not coming back.
Wow. Wow. I mean, Bruno, I think, will be missed because he's a personality like no other. I mean, he's so passionate and so vivid and so terrific. However, you know, Anton's waited a long time for this chance and, you know, I think he'll be fabulous.
Yeah, no, I think he'll do a great job too.
Yeah, it's breaking as we speak, Matthew.
Well, I was thinking Bruno's been crisscrossing the Atlantic quite, well, for years, and I would imagine there comes a point where you may think you don't want to do that anymore, and I think Anton's the perfect replacement as well, so I'm sure the show will carry on dancing.
Well, we've got Craig Rebel-Forward on the show later on, so it'd be fascinating to hear his thoughts. So great booking, perfect timing.
Thank you both. Thank you very much.
Thank you.